Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. This is an interview
Hello.
between Max Kane, who's joining us from Massachusetts in the United States, and author Robert Nadsaniqua, who is from Democratic Republic of Congo, but is currently living in Naki Valley refugee settlement in Uganda. So this is a discussion. Hello, Robert. Hi, Max. This discussion is part of a storytelling initiative that emerged out of a partnership between Uganda-based, refugee-led and founded nonprofit organization Elite Humanitarian Service Team and two international literary magazines, Otherwise and Stone Soup. So in this interview, we'll have Max, who will be interviewing Robert about the publication of his story, The Young Man in the Refugee Camp, which was published in Junctions, a special issue of Otherwise magazine. We also have here Ishara Barham Theophile, otherwise known as Theobar, who's the founder and CEO of Elite Humanitarian Service Team. He's here to translate and help facilitate the interview. And I'm Laura Moran, director of the Stone Soup Refugee Project, and also here to help facilitate the interview. So thank you all for being here, and I will turn it over to you, Max, to begin your questions.
All right. Hi, Robert. It's great to see you once again. Thank you again so much for giving me the opportunity to read your story and work with you. I'm honored and thrilled to see your success. Your story to me demonstrated incredible empathy and compassion, and it inspired me to show the same grace to others. So now I have a few questions about your story. My first one is, you write about your friendship with John and how you met him and all that. And what inspired you to write about your friendship with John?
Yeah, I was inspired with a couple of things like the friendship between me and John. First of all, it's something that's inspired me to write it, and also I was inspired to write that story since it had a kind of a message sending to others. I felt like if it's published, it's gonna help some. I feel like someone is gonna need it.
I have a question about that. What is the message that you want to send with your story to your readers, of your story?
Yes, I hope my readers to understand the power of friendship and the transformation that is brought through unity of people. Yeah,
And how has your friendship with John bettered your personal life?
yeah. My friendship with John improved me in a lot of things. First of all, it helped me to develop a skill, and that was the work we have been doing. And apart from that one, it was a kind of joyful. He was there to encourage me in some moments that we share and exchange some personal ideas.
Okay, thanks, Robert. It's really interesting, and I found your relationship with John really inspiring too. And just for a little bit of context, how long have you known John? Like, how long ago did your friendship with him begin?
Our friendship with him began it was 2018, some dates there. I don't remember exactly the date, but it was
Yeah.
2018. I didn't save the date.
So how old were you at that point?
For me, yeah, I was, by that time I was 16. So by that time I had 10 years.
Oh wow, you've known him for a lot of your formative years then. Yeah.
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 Okay, thanks, Robert. Go and you can go ahead, Max. I just wanted to get that time frame in
Mm.
my head. Yeah.
All right. I have a question about your experience playing football with John. What was it like strengthening your friendship with him as your coach on Wolf Team?
Sorry, I'm not going to it.
Laura, can you give me a minute just?
Yes, I'll just hang on ahead.
All right. My next question is, how did your experience playing football and having John as your coach for Wolf Team strengthen your bond?
Yeah, my experience playing football and getting John helped me he helped me to improve my skills by then when I was still a footballer, and also he gave me some more extra knowledge about sports,
Mm.
like engaging in physical running sports and continue with football.
And do you still play football with John to this day?
Yes. Do you still play football up to today? No, I left football. What happened? Immediately when I joined my secondary school, I left football. Jeez.
All right. On to my next question. What made you decide to help John in brickmaking after you went to his house and met his family?
Max, can you repeat that question, please?
Of course. After you go to John's house and you meet his siblings and you learn about how he creates clay bricks, what made you decide to help him with that?
Yeah, because I felt like he was going through a lot. So that's the thing that's pushed me to do so.
Was it hard to learn? Did it take a long time to learn that skill?
Yeah, to learn. I'm sorry, madam. Like I didn't get the question clear.
Yeah, sure. I said, was it a difficult skill to learn making the bricks? Did it take you a long time to master it?
Yeah, it was just easy. It was a simple skill that took me something like a week. I was already getting some ideas.
And do you still do it? Are you still making bricks?
No.
Oh, you retired again.
I left, the time I went to secondary school, I left a couple of things, football, and again. Yeah.
So you
I
left
see.
all of what Robert loved, what Robert did. So you abandoned everything.
I abandoned them.
Actually, Laura, that's not Robert's problem. That is the problem with Africa's educational system. Whenever you join school, so you have to leave a lot of things so that you can be focusing at school, because we are always at school from morning to evening, 7 to 4 p.m. So you don't have any other time to do any other thing.
I see. So it's long school days. And during the time that you were making bricks, was there an interruption in your schooling?
Yeah, the time I was making bricks, there was no interruption since I was still at primary.
Oh, I see. I see. So at least it's a skill you could use again in the future as well.
Yeah, I can still use it.
Mm.
All right. I have another question. What positive effects on your community did you see from your work with John making bricks and playing on Wolf Team?
Yeah, the powerful knowledge I got is that we have to be so kind to everybody, and we should come together, united, to share experience and knowledges in order to transform ourselves to the next levels and empower ourselves so that we find ourselves at the level that is at a bit comfortable to all of us.
Yeah. All right. Hold on, I'm finding my next question. What has the process of creating and publishing your work in The Young Man in the Refugee Camp had on your life?
Yes. Oh, my life in the refugee camp.
The normal life, not your personal life. The normal scope of life.
In Akibale. Yeah, life in Akibale is tough to most parts. Also, we have some good parts of it, and we have some tough part of it. On the tough parts, I can talk about the basic needs. Most of them are not clear here. When you check, like let's say water, see the challenge in this area, the settlements, electricity, the challenge. Still, also there is we are missing also access to quick communication tools and a lot of couple of basic needs, but majorly they are those ones. And on the good thing I can say, yeah, it's good since get a chance to interact with people from different nationalities. Like I am from DRC now. When I came to Nakivale, I got some Ethiopian friends, Somalis friends, Burundian friends. So it's a kind of place for connection. That is a part of the importance of it.
And what do you think meeting all these different people from all these different places do you think it's changed your perspective at all?
Sorry, Max, you're saying?
What meeting all these different people from all these different places, do you think it's changed how you view the world at all?
In meeting these kinds of people, change the perspective that you had towards the world.
Oh, I get it right. Meeting the people from different nationalities it changed. I can say it changed because since I interact with Somalis, I get to know their culture. I interact with Burundians and fellow Ugandans. I also get to understand their culture and share what they do, what we do. So it's kind of a change that's really enjoyable. And also their ideas. They bring their games, we introduce also our games, and it's kind of bringing something like a motivation to stay and forget about the past.
Awesome. And I have my last question here. What do you plan to do with the writing skills you've developed in the future?
Yeah, I plan to use this very skill and develop it for the future. Since, yeah, like for me, my life, I am a person who like upskilling. I really enjoy it. And for a long time, I've been trying my best to get the skill of writing. I struggled a lot. I went to Nakivale Library. We have one library here. I've been looking for the opportunity to learn this skill. I missed, but unfortunately, I can say let me thank the Lord. Also, the opportunity arrived here, and I gained a skill of writing. And what I'm planning for the future is to develop my skills and also share my knowledge through story writing and improve. But my major point is to see one day I have at least a book written and it's published that's going to be inspired. A book like for I can't predict the number of pages.
But you can predict the number of what?
Yeah, number of words. It's also tough. Maybe I can say the pages.
You know, a good author is not someone who writes letters. A good author is someone who writes sensitive things and write each and every day. If you need to be a great author, you need to be writing a lot and reading a lot. So if you can't predict the number of pages that you're going to write, then you don't have a goal yet. So set a goal. Before this year end, I need to publish 2 novels. Each one will be having 5,000 words.
That's right. And like for now, I have even a couple. I have 2 stories I'm working on. One I've already told Madam Laura. Just I wanted to share to other children stats and also include the rest to make it clear. But since we're in this program of graduations, what I said, let me not interrupt and let me wait. But after this interview, I'm going to share my next story. And hopefully I will get assistance from the mentors and peer reviewers around me. Like Max, I hope you are going to help me in the next story.
Of course, of course. And I have a question about your book. Do you have any idea what you might write it on? I know it's ambitious and in the future, but any experience you would want to write about or anything?
any experience about what you were?
Yeah, experience about what I'm about to write. Like in the book, I hope to write something that's related, something that's related to life around here. Yeah. And for the stories I have,
Can you be somehow specific, like the story that talks about life here? What kind of specific kind of life are you trying to write about? Because Nakibale has a lot of lives here, have a lot of situations. So can you talk about that specific thing that maybe you want to write about?
Yeah, the specific thing I want to talk about is life and some experiences of people who have gone through transformation within the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they did. Because I have a couple of people I know around who have developed really in the camp, and I feel like if I get to interview them, mix with some ideas, I can get a good story and develop a good book that can inspire others.
That's great.
All right. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you, Robert, for the interview. I'm very excited to see your next works and to help you if you need it. And I'm very excited to read your book when it, releases. And thank you so much again for the opportunity to help you on The Young Man in the Refugee Camp. It was an honor and a pleasure. And I'm excited to see where you go with your writing, and I'm excited to help you along the way. And Laura, if you have any questions, feel free to ask if I missed anything. But thank you again, Robert. It's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you too much for your time and support toward this beautiful transformation of the program of story writing. And I'm really glad to meet you in this program. Hopefully, you will help me for the rest of my story, and we keep in touch for this career of writers. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, and I will echo Mac's sentiments. I hope you keep writing, Robert. It was an honor to share your story, and I'd love to read more. It was a beautiful story about a friendship that we would all be lucky to have. And as Max highlighted, it really revealed a lot about your character. And you did a great job telling the story in a way that we could all relate to and picture in our minds. And so I hope you will continue with your writing journey. And I want to thank you, Max, for the thoughtful questions that can really added to our reading of the story. And Robert, for being here and sharing your thoughts. And I'll turn it to Theobald to see if you'd like to add any comments to close the interview.
Actually, I don't have much to share about. The first thing is just to congratulate Robert for the publishing of your story, and also for taking all of this time writing, and also for trusting us that we could lend a hand also towards the development of your story. That is very grateful, and it's a very beautiful and inspiring story. Because I always support the young people that are role models to others. So also thanks very much to Matt for supporting Robert towards this story. It was a really beautiful journey since last year up to now, and you guys have been a very great support to these writers here. I always believe in one thing which is called Ubuntu, which states that if you live, it's because also I'm living. And if I'm living, it's because also you are doing what? You are living. So I would really encourage that you really support these young people for as much as possible, with as enough skills as you can, so that they may also reach somewhere in the days to come. So thank you very much, Max and Robert, for that beautiful interview, and also for the beautiful story that you supported. And also you wrote that is published already with the Otherwise magazine. Also, thanks very much to Laura for having us, and also for being with us throughout this one period of time, thanks to the Stone Soup, Otherwise Magazine, and the whole Elite Humanitarian Service team for being in this project and also developing and shaping these minds together. That's all that I can say. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, and thank you to Theobar for making the project possible for all of us. Thanks, everyone.